Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing somewhere.
Hi everybody. When we are on a passage, everything on a boat has to have a place to go, especially on a monohull, because when the boat is rocking from side to side to side, or we're heeled to one side or we're heeled to the other, things will fall out. And they always do, even when we do our best to plan well. So what inevitably happens though is we sit in port and I want to get my blender out. We want to just go hang out with friends and we don't want to be cleaning and putting things away all the time. So everything kind of falls apart pretty quickly. I'd say within about a month of sitting in a port, when we know that we're not going to be moving somewhere soon, like we have been during hurricane season here, it's a little bit of a project to put things away. Now we try to save spots to put things. For instance, I have an aloe vera plant that I love, and right now it is sitting outside so it can get a little bit of sun and some fresh air, but I have a home that I have saved for it and it will go back in that home before we go. So we try to save the spots for things that we know are out, especially things that are hard to place, so that we know it's available when it's time to go. We especially do that for very hard to position items.
Unless we have a better place to put it while we're underway, in which case we're changing the organizational structure.
That is another thing that we do, is we are always reorganizing something, seeing something out of place, finding a better home for things. I had originally thought that we would just find a home for things and it would stay that way. And then I've learned that it is an ongoing process of putting things away, whether we're acquiring or it didn't work well there because we needed to access it more. So right now, we've spent about the last week putting some things away and making the boat look neater, and because we have some company coming, and also pretty soon after that, I think we're going to be heading out of here, so we'll need to have everything in its home at that point anyways. Another thing that I do is sometimes I will acquire something and then decide I'm not going to keep it when it gets later on. So for instance, I have some plants here that I have gotten while I was here, and I don't know that I'm going to keep all of them because I don't know where. I'm just going to put them away so that they can be safe while we're sailing. So I just might give them to a friend or something like that. Another thing that we have on our boat, because I think it was very, very well made, is we have several places where we can put cups and glasses and other items like that, but cups and glasses in particular in the galley, so that our mugs are sitting there and they don't break and they don't even really clatter that much. It holds them nice and safe even when we're moving. Our dishes also have a place like that, so I can reach for dishes and they have a safe home while we're sailing. And part of the trick is, because this is our home as well as our boat, that we may not have here if it wasn't our home. There's just some things that make us happy. I have a frog noise maker that I have to find a place to put when it's time to go sailing, and when we get out, I put it out again because it makes me happy to look at it. So sometimes if you are just going on a day trip or a weekend trip, it's a little bit easier, but we are constantly fighting adding things to this boat, where those things are supposed to go, and then just being able to have functionality of all the spaces on the boat, so the table doesn't just turn into a desk or a storage space, but a table can be a place that we can sit around and play cards or have a meal if it's not nice outside. I also have a list on my computer that has every item on the boat, where it is, and dated if it's necessary. I'll have a date on the item itself, so that if I'm looking for, say, some sugar, I can tell Stephen exactly where it is, and then he or I or Sam will go and get it out. So say if I'm looking for something like sugar, I can check my list, I can go to the cupboard that it's in, and I can get that sugar out, because while we're traveling, sometimes there's really great grocery stores nearby, and sometimes there isn't. And For instance, in the Bahamas, it was very, very useful to be able to do that, where food is just a little bit more expensive. And here in the Dominican Republic, it's been very helpful because there are amazing foods available here, but some things just aren't available, so it was nice to be able to have those items. If it's food, it's vacuum sealed. If it's a cloth, it might be in a plastic bag, or it might be vacuum sealed as well. We try to protect it from the damp salt air, which causes damage to, I think, almost everything.
Well, the list is also helpful because with the number of storage areas, we have a multitude of items split across a couple different areas, and we have to know where they are. And some of these areas are almost like literally hidden behind walls with just a single door to access.
The damp salt air causes damage all over the place, and we do our best to work with it, and it's just a reality of being here and being on a boat and being this close to nature like this. We have recently discovered, though, that a small fan, we have a very small desk fan. It's an older design desk fan, and we've hooked it up to a backup power bank. And it lasts forever, practically, on the backup power bank. And we just have it sitting in the galley on a spot that just needs to get extra air on it that wasn't getting enough airflow. And it has been doing great. If you like this video and you like watching our videos, then please like, comment, and subscribe and ask questions. We love questions.